Hey Grimwade gang, welcome back. I hope you're all well. Guys, I feel so truly blessed to be sharing this journey of life with you guys. Obviously, for those of you that have been with us for a long time, for what, it'd be almost 7 years, I think, since we started. You've seen us progress, you've seen our highs, our lows, and our in-betweens. For those of you that have just come, thank you so much for coming and joining the Grimwade gang on the Grimwade family channel. We love you and we always appreciate you being here. But guys, after the last video, I was reading some of your comments, and this is why we share our lives, because I'm so sorry that we can't get back to every single comment. You know, I was literally standing in between doing bedtime and just stuff in the house last night. Come Halo, come to mummy, because you're here having your 2 pence. You can come give mummy cuddles? Yeah! I wondered how long that was going to take for a minute, gosh. You say hi. You say hi. You want to say hi now? You were saying hi earlier when Daddy came down. Special highs for Daddy. So yeah, I was in between doing things last night and I was answering some comments back, and just the experiences that you have been through yourselves that you felt you were able to share because I'd shared my experience and you found it encouraging. That encourages me. Knowing that, like, in life, obviously we all go through things, and when someone is bold enough to be open enough to share what's happened in their life, encourages others to share as well, which is the way that I thought it should always work. I think sometimes in life people can get a little bit worried about sharing their situation, because obviously you do get people that are always judgmental and like to look on the negative side of things. I don't know why, hopefully that will change for them, but those of us that like to... Yes. Oh, right, yeah, they're playing football outside. We're going to go to them in a minute. But those people that do like to find encouragement from other people's experiences and share theirs to encourage others, you know, you really get why you do it when... You really get why you do it. That wasn't going to work. When...
That was very brave of you.
You really understand why you do it when these kind of testimonies come out, you know. I was going through this situation. Somebody else says, so was I, and God came through for me in this way. Or the ones that really get to me are the ones where people are saying, I'm still going through something, and just hearing you share your story and share how, you know, you're feeling, even in the midst of what you're going through. That's such an encouragement for me. Is that where you wanted to go? Okay. And in life, we're all learning, you know. I think at the end of the day, you form ideas and you form opinions, but then you sometimes have to change those ideas and opinions when you actually end up in a certain situation. But yeah, I just think sharing stories is such a big deal. But anyway, I will carry on to what I actually came to say to you guys. I wanted to give you a proper update on where I'm at now. Maybe you can feel through the camera that I'm a little bit more settled within myself. On my Instagram yesterday, I tried to explain how I'd been feeling this week. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's at Ella Grimwade on Instagram. But also you can get at all of us if you go to at the Grimwade family. So we're able to find all of our Instagrams. But yeah, so I shared a little bit that, you know, the week where I didn't really know what was happening, I felt so unpeaceful. I was not at rest with just life because just being unsure about what's happening. Obviously I knew that the baby had you know, stopped growing. I found out some interesting facts, like I didn't know, yes, I've had 7 pregnancies, but it doesn't mean that I'm a midwife. I did not know, for example, that even if the baby has stopped growing, like the sac will still keep growing until you get to like 12 weeks, unless obviously there's some intervention before then. But because the reason people usually have, you know, that 12-week block where lots of people don't actually share that they're pregnant because they want to wait until they're in that safe kind of zone. Basically your placenta doesn't actually fully form and kick in till 12 weeks is what the doctor told me yesterday, and all the hormones that are in and around your womb and whatnot will be doing their thing up until that point to be feeding the baby and help it grow. But then once your placenta takes over, if the baby has not continued to form, that's when you'll usually see some sort of, you know, view that maybe if you've had a miscarriage, or obviously if everything's gone well, that's when the placenta kind of kicks in and then the baby starts living off the placenta. But I was wondering why I was still feeling like pregnancy symptoms, not as much as before, but it was like just a little bit, like I was feeling a bit sick here and there, and it was getting really frustrating for me because I knew that there was no baby still growing there. So I'm thinking, oh, am I still feeling sick? But because the hormones were still there, they're still very much, you know, going around in my system, that's why I was still feeling that. maybe you can relate, I don't know. But yeah, if you're in a point where you're feeling frustrated, then that's probably what's going on if you're in the same situation as me. I hope to God that you're not, but if you are, just to give you a bit of information, because I only found that out yesterday. Obviously, after having 7 kids, this is the first time I've experienced a miscarriage. And the reason I say yesterday is because yesterday I went to the hospital for them to do a scan just to confirm everything, and then book in a date for me to have. It's not actually called a D&C. It's not where they scrape everything away, because it's a slightly different process, but basically where I'm gonna have everything sucked out. But hey, you okay? You alright?
Yeah.
Good. Have you washed your hands? If not, can you quickly wash your hands in the bathroom before you get them all over the place? Wash your hands, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, you have. High fives, girl. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Hi, Grimwade gang.
So I'm just explaining like when I went to the hospital yesterday, what they told me and stuff. So I'm gonna have to go in at 7 o'clock on Friday morning next week.
In the morning.
7 o'clock in the morning. No, good luck to mummy. Daddy will be needing to drop me there because I'm gonna have to go under general anaesthetic, and they will do what they need to do to get rid of what is still there. Hey kids! Hey guys! Yeah, I'm just explaining obviously that, you know, mummy's got to go and have this surgery. It's very basic, straightforward surgery. The whole process is only going to take about half an hour. But yeah, like I said to you yesterday, I've got to go in, but I don't know if I've explained it.
You have to get that tiny little baby to the hospital.
It needs to be taken out, yeah, because I explained to Houston how they wanted to know at one point how big the baby had been, and it would have been about the size of a chewing gum, I think. I read online. So she's like, oh, it's a very tiny little baby. I said, yeah. So basically I had a scan yesterday. They confirmed that the baby had actually, well, they said it had grown to 7 weeks, but I'm technically meant to be 9 weeks now. So, and there's no heartbeat. So that confirms that, you know, nothing else is going ahead. And in order for them to actually say it's a miscarriage, it has to have been at 7 weeks, like growth. If it hadn't gotten to 7 weeks, then I would have had to wait another week and then go back for another scan. That's how the process is here. So I'm just grateful to God that that the baby had grown to that point. So that basically what I'm saying is I just don't like the waiting process. How do you think mummy's kind of been this week in terms of myself?
I think there was one day when we filmed a other vlog where you told us about it. You were emotional then, but then other than that, you've just been a bit like, I just want to get it done. Because obviously you don't want to be waiting with a dead baby inside of you for ages. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, what do you want to say, Houston?
You hold your belly with your coffee.
So when Houston was at my mum's house a couple of weeks ago, basically my mum told Houston the story of when I was 10 months, I think I was, and I basically spilled my auntie's tea down my belly, and I've got a scar. It's a very light kind of scar. My skin is slightly darker in an area, but it's nothing crazy. On my belly.
I still love you.
So yeah, still love Susan, it's fine. But yeah, it's on my belly. So Houston was intrigued by that story, and she was like, oh, you hurt your belly with the coffee. But no, that's why children mustn't touch hot drinks or reach up to things they mustn't touch, because we're always trying to keep you safe. But yeah, so how are you guys feeling about, that was weird how I said that, wasn't it? How are you guys feeling about mummy having to go in to have this procedure?
I feel a bit sad, but I'm happy that the baby has gone to be in a better place, because there's no better place in heaven.
Yes.
Anywhere on earth.
Yeah.
Or anywhere.
Yeah.
But like, it's just sad because I wanted to have another little brother. But it's a bit emotional, but at the same time we still have all of us.
Yes.
And
we come into you next.
I'm happy that the baby has gone to a better place.
Yes, yeah, of course. Now, Miss Madden, what would you like to say, Houston?
I'm really sad that the baby's died.
Yeah, we understand that. I think the Grimwade gang understand that as well. And I'm glad that you have an understanding of what's happened. And I think it's important that you children do.
Another sister.
You want to have another sister? And what about, you've got Halo though?
Your best friend.
Your best friend?
Yeah.
Do you think, oh, you coming around to her? Yeah, okay, you got to go and find her. She's coming around this side. There you go, best friends, yay! And this one's going to be like, I'm just going to go for it. She's like, I thought Houston was the firecracker, but I tell you, watch out for Halo Grimwade again. Watch her. Sorry, I'll come to you in 2 seconds, Hallie. I think it's important that the kids do know about this process for a couple of reasons. I pray to God that when they're older, they don't experience this. But if they ever did, then I would want them to have something that they could relate to. I know that I knew about when my mum had a miscarriage before she had me. That always made me more grateful for my life, to be honest, because I always felt like, you know, if maybe I wouldn't have been here if God had had other plans for other children for my parents. I don't know, but I always remember my mum, she had a miscarriage before me and then she had a miscarriage after me. So, because obviously I wasn't there when she had a miscarriage before me. But I remember her telling us about the miscarriage she had after me. So I would have been about 5, I think, at the time. And just understanding that kind of process and seeing how my mum was. So immediately when this happened, I knew I could go to my mum because I knew she'd been through that and I knew I could speak to her about it. And that was helpful. My mum was really, really understanding. So yeah, basically I just think it's important for the children to kind of hear about these things because it's real life. And I feel like the more knowledge you can give to your children, the more equipped they will be. Maybe it's not even for a situation in their own life, but maybe it's if they see other people in situations, maybe they'll have more understanding. And I think it's important that you don't just tell your kids about the good things and things that you think you know they can cope with, because obviously that's not the reality of life. And if you're there to take your child through the process, you're there with them, making sure that they are being shaped and formed and protected and whatnot.
It's the safest place they could go through a problem, no?
That is correct. If you're speaking to your parents about something who have brought you into this world and love and care for you, that's the best place to be to talk about something. Go on, Houston, and then Marie.
I'm really sad that poor granddad died.
I know, there's been a lot happening at one time.
A lot.
And when we went to see Grandad in the hospital, it was really nice because you got to be with him, didn't you, before he died? And do you know what? It's not very often that people get to live to 101.
Yeah, so he
Grandad was 101 years old. What was he? 101. No, but you said he was very lucky. But do you know what? He was very blessed. Yeah, God bless him.
You bring milkshake for him and you feed it to him.
We did, didn't we?
We did. Do you remember that, Roo? Do you remember Mummy feeding Grandad the milkshake in the room?
Yeah. I don't know if he was in at that time.
I didn't see that.
Okay, but Houston was right. You had your hand up, Roo, at one point. Did you have something you wanted to say?
A long time ago, we already done this with me, how I was feeling about the miscarriage. We done that a long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah, it was not a long time ago, it's the last video. But yeah, this is more about, we know now what the procedure that Mummy is going to have, so she can settle a bit with that now.
Yeah, so when I asked Hosanna, how have I been? I think to the kids, it has been that Mummy's just been trying to get on with stuff. And like I've said, I just wanted to know what was going to happen. Now that we know that I'm going to go and have this surgery done, I'm only going to be put to sleep for half an hour. The whole thing only takes half an hour. I'm not going to have loads of anaesthetic.
Does that sound...
Why does Mummy have to go to sleep? Because don't they have like a numb cream?
The creams wouldn't be strong enough. So if they use like a numbing cream,
A numbing cream is for when you like get an injection or something.
Yeah, just a little thing.
Yeah, just a little thing. Because Mummy has injections. Like I had a blood test yesterday and I had that with no painkillers. So it just feels like a little prick. But if I was to have that process done where they take the baby out, that would hurt a lot. Do you know what I mean? So we have another question.
So you're going. I did Kit Kat.
Kit Kat?
Kit Kat?
The Kit Kat. A kit and a cat.
Oh, kick and a catch. Okay, you...
Bounce Kit Kat.
Yes.
Yeah, but you have to explain that to people because that on itself doesn't make any sense.
We're all doing football right now, and she's been trying to do kick-ups with us. So we told her to start off with, Daddy told her to start off with, have the ball in her hand, but let it bounce, then kick it, then catch it.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Very good explanation.
Very well explained, Hallie Rose. And Hallie, do you have any concerns? You just feel like it's just something Mum needs to do? How do you feel?
Well, of course it's something you need to do, but it's honestly like I'm very sad for the baby, but I'm happy for it at the same time, because I'm happy that it's went to a happy place without like any challenges in life or anything. So and she just went straight to heaven.
I love the way she keeps saying she
or he. I don't know. But I think I'm more happy for it than sad.
Okay, I understand that. And at the end of the day, we all process things in different ways, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. And I feel like even for myself, it's been important that I have shared this journey with you guys, because I don't think for me it would have been healthy to kind of just keep it all internalized. Because I don't like having to be fake like that. If I'm struggling with something, it's going to affect my mood. And, you know, maybe I need to learn to be able to not let stuff affect my mood, but I don't think that's really realistic. And I think when you have the freedom to be able to just say, this is what it is, then people understand a bit more. But yes, I feel a lot more at peace now. Now I know what the process is. Now I know that I'm going to go and have the surgery on Friday. I know that it's something that the doctors do loads of, like all the time. They're usually like really fully booked. Hence why I've had to wait a whole week. For to have mine done, so I don't feel worried at all. I'm trusting God for that whole process, and I'm just glad that then I'll feel like I have closure. So I feel like this experience has happened. Now it's come to an end. Now Mummy can get back to Mummy. Do you know what I mean? I have to come out in the garden and do training with you guys. Yeah, well, that'd be good. Yeah, we look forward to that. Mum, yes, let me pick both of you up, and then all that's left to say now, best friends, it's Grimwade Gang. We love you. Thank you
Subscribe, hit that like button, comment, all that stuff.
Thank you for all of your support and your blessings and your prayers, and we continue to pray for all of you, and may God bless you all, Grimwade Gang. We love you. We'll see you on the next video.
Bye. Peace.